Welcome to the channel. My name is Loki. I'm here to say welcome to my crazy oceans. Now, before we do anything, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Real quick, I'm probably going to make this video into a 3 or 2-parter because I don't know how long this is going to take, and sorry for taking so long with the uploads. I'm just one person working on a video, and transcribing some stuff from 4chan posts is kind of hard when you do not have the original post, so you cannot highlight or copy the same stuff. So never mind about that. But other than that, today's story is going to be about the unruly dwarf Oohigie. Yes, that legendary bastard. Hopefully you can enjoy the show. Maybe stay around and become a sea wiggle warrior. Those guys get muscles for like chads, if you ask me. Yeah. But until then, I'm going to be experimenting with a few things. So hopefully you like what I do. So...
let me regale you with a tale of my party's beloved Oohigie the honorary dwarf. Our party consisted of good friends that had known each other, a reformed that guy, and Lucas the veteran. We had a pretty decent group, consisting of a dwarf warrior, human paladin, human warlock, tiefling rogue, me a half-elf ranger, and a human mage. We were in the relatively early stages of an epic campaign, and had been greeted by a sudden surge of slightly stronger enemies. What made these enemies slightly sturdier? Well, according to our DM, they had been gifted with what could only be described as slap-metal riveted together by clumsy hands. This led us to a few leads in town that culminated in hearing of an ogre that had taken up residence in an abandoned forge and begun crafting rudimentary armor and weapons for the local minions, and of course this led to our first quest. Kill the ogre, stop the attacks. After what felt like an hour of minion stomping and quest cruisin', we found the forge and killed a few of the outlying minions to prevent an unwelcome intrusion with the upcoming boss fight. We prepared ourselves, no cleric, had to be especially careful with potion rations, added some fun to the game, and had the tiefling sneak in to make sure we could sneak up without any trouble, or annoying traps going off. She gave us the all clear, and we shuffled inside, praying our sneak checks held up. Inside the forge, we followed the sound of clanging metal and deep grunts. Lucas took the lead, preparing to call in a few favors from Bahamut, with Raj the dwarf following closely behind him. When we turned the corner, the DM informed us we saw the large shape moving around the anvil and smelter, which we all knew meant the ogre. I asked for initiative, to sneak in a shot and perhaps swing the battle to our favor, but Lucas had another plan. Lucas rolls for a diplomacy check and takes it by speaking with the ogre.
Why are you making armor for evil?
The ogre stopped and turned around in surprise. The DM apparently was surprised we didn't flat out attack, and he asked for a moment to pen something down. After his pen stopped, he cleared his throat.
Make armor here. Orc no like armor. So gob make armor for gobs. They like.
The ogre then went on to tell us about how he discovered a book about crafting, and decided to try making some himself. Judging from the simplicity of the story, our DM hadn't expected us to be diplomatic and just threw together something to explain why an ogre would spend his time with a hammer and anvil instead of hunting adventures and eating goats. As the story dragged on, and we learned that the ogre had been kicked out for finding a book from another culture, we slowly kinda silently agreed to avoid killing him, since the image of this 9-foot-tall ogre tinkering away at an anvil to make small and medium-sized armor was too funny to pass up. When the ogre got the part where he revealed he couldn't read the book, which was a dwarven guide apparently, and was just following the pictures, Lucas decided to chime in.
Why don't you come with us? We have a dwarf that can translate the book for you, and you can learn how to create better armor.
And thus we were joined by Oohigie the crafting ogre. First thing we did once we went into town was to calm the mob that appeared and attempted to kill Oohigie. 5 diplomacy checks, and almost a third of my gold later, the town relents and lets us stay with him for the night. Oohigie was really excited by this prospect and asked if he could visit the blacksmith, which Lucas had to explain was probably not a good idea. Since there wasn't a room in the town big enough to hold him, we told Oohigie to sleep in the stables.
Oohigie understood. Oohigie try not to make humans mad.
That night, before ending the session, we joked about how silly this all was. Taking in an ogre that didn't want to fight. We told some jokes, made a few jabs at how we thought the ogre was going to bite the dust, and called it a session. Next session, we woke up, paid for food until the next town, and the inn, picking up Oohigie from the stables on the way out. During the journey, Oohigie kept bothering Raj, the dwarf, and asking about crafty smiths and clang tools. Now, is my dude bro I've known for years, and even though this is obviously bothering him answering every question, he at least tries to be nice to the insistent pestering. In hindsight, this was probably our DM's attempt to leave Oohigie behind so he could get back to the focus, but we managed to persist and kept him with us to the next town. This time deciding that we cannot afford to argue Oohigie into town every and spend half our income. Being a ranger, I offer to set up a camp just outside the town's borders. That way we can keep Oohigie and hunt some pelts for extra income. Raj offers to stay in camp with me and Oohigie, with Lucas heading into town for the temple, and the rogue, wizard and warlock will search for quests. As we set up the tents, I ask if it's possible to use Oohigie as a deterrent against mobs in the local area. The DM allows a roll, and with a 17, says that Oogie's natural musk alerts the other monsters in the area to stay away. Raj stayed behind as I picked off local wildfire for our dinner. While I hunted, Oohigie asked Raj more questions about the book.
How to make? You need a block of iron and a forge. Oohigie make forge? I don't think you have enough materials for that. With that said and done, I believe Oohigie is a good character for me. I would love to see someone try to take Oohigie and make him into a player character. Like, many years ago, this mighty... and make him a dwarf but with the same intelligence as an orc. I don't know. I don't know what system. It could be 5e or Pathfinder. I can't really tell because I don't know any of the gods in the settings. So, which sucks for me. I believe there are a couple of them I know by heart, but I don't know. But I want to see Oohigie as a player character next time. Hey OP, if you ever see this video, make him into a player character and see how fun it is. Just make him a paladin, and then he has the crafty smith tools. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the experiment that I did with me reading some vocal lines, and hopefully you enjoyed my little twist on Oohigie. But until then, thank you for swimming in these waters, and don't let the sea wiggles bite. They tend to bite and drag more people down to suffer. Don't know why. Yeah, well, and with all that said and done, give me a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And that's it. Bye.